Welcome to Sponsored by Nobody. This week, sponsored by Knitting, a fun way to kill. It is January 2024, and we are playing Mistborn, Rebels Without a Cause, Episode 12. I am Ian as the narrator, and we have X playing Y.
I'm Katelyn playing Mildred Hoffquarter.
Who are you playing, Katelyn?
I'm playing Mildred. You want details? I am a crotchety old lady. We're part of a knitting club, and Mildred is a big reader and has a project bag with her at all times. You know, she's got her shawl, she's got her note paper, she's got her hair up in a bun, and is sitting in the corner of the room doing her crotchety old lady best, making sure nobody's dropping too many crumbs, you know.
Nice.
Hello.
Yep.
I'm M. I will be playing Windslorp Coventry Stableson. Windslorp is orphan, ward to the Elmere family, born to the Erickson bloodline. I was given a new name in the orphanage. Windslorp has a very cold, surgical demeanor, very traumatized young boy, lost his family. Just a small guy, very young, 8 years old, and has been intellectualized and is very intelligent and witty, with a very dry, mischievous, and kind of scary. So we'll be getting more on that as it goes on.
Excellent. Yeah. So we have only the two of you today, but normally we will have a third, possibly a fourth, if I can find a fourth. But we should have three people for this group going forward, hopefully. RD is going to join us as well. And yeah, RD is playing what's RD's character again? RD is playing Twyla Elmere, which is Windslorp's. Windslorp is the ward to Twyla Elmere, and she's also a crotchety old lady who is part of the knitting club. So the knitting club is a secret underground rebel club. Basically has 3 members right now. And yeah, so we're in the world. Listeners, you all know the world. You've all listened to this. Is episode 12. You know what's going on. Players are not quite as familiar, so I'm going to do a little bit of backstory, a little bit of kind of catch up stuff, and get them ready here. So the world is Mistborn. The Lord Ruler is pretty much all powerful and rules everything. You guys are both nobles, so you're actually pretty good off. Like, nobody's going to bother you too much. You can do whatever you want within reason. Yeah, it's pretty good to be a noble in a fascist economy. Yeah. Like, I hate to say it, but yeah. And you guys, I guess, what's the local news and the current news? The current news is everyone's talking about how, fun fact, the Venture household is most likely in charge of the atium supply, which is atium being the most precious resource in the whole world. It's what allows allomancers, Mistborn specifically allomancers, to basically see the future. And it's like what gold reserves would be in our world. Atium is equivalent. Like, there's the Lord Ruler keeps atium reserves, and pretty much everything is set to the price per atium. all the money and coins are tied to how much ATM you can get with it. And yeah, it recently was found out by the world that the Venture household, one of the 10 great households, is in charge of ATM production, or ATM mining, I should say, not really production. But they were attacked. The mine, there's only one mine for ATM, and it was attacked by some rebels and did some serious damage. The Lord Ruler and the obligators are like, oh, don't worry. The obligators being the Lord Ruler's priests. They're all saying, don't worry about it. It's fine. We have this under control. But obviously, being nobles, you guys know shit has hit the fan. And yeah, they have it under control, but they don't have it as under control as they would like it to be. The price of ATM has skyrocketed. And yeah, the head of House Venture, Straff, Lord Straff, was executed as punishment for not being able to keep the mines safe. And his son has taken over. As nobles, you know that his son is fairly bookish and quiet, doesn't really care for politics, and you can all safely assume that he'll probably be assassinated fairly quickly, given his
What's his name?
His name is what is? I should know it. It's actually important. House Venture. Family tree. Elland. His name is Elland. Yeah.
Okay.
He's fairly weak considered by most people. Again, bookish and quiet, soft spoken for the most part. People are assuming he'll be assassinated pretty quickly, just given the fact, his father, Straff, was considered hard and gruff and manly and, didn't take your shit. But yeah, it's very different with Elland. However, it's been about a week or so and he has not been assassinated. So maybe he won't be. It's interesting. You let's see. Mildred, you've probably chatted with him a few times.
Okay.
Windslorp, you probably haven't. You might have met him maybe once at a party since arriving here, because you've arrived fairly recently into the big city.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have met him briefly once at a party. Again, he would have been sitting in the back reading a book, not really participating in the party. Mildred, you've met him a number of times, being an older noble here. Again,
bookish type. What kind of books does he read?
He reads a lot of philosophy. He reads a lot of books that are borderline not allowed, philosophy. Philosophy and
I've probably
history and stuff. Yeah,
that's also the kind of books that I'd be reading.
Yes. So you've clocked that he actually you figure he might get assassinated, just again given his demeanor.
Right.
But you've clocked that it probably would be in the disinterest of the world in general if he gets assassinated. He seems like a lovely boy to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the political climate is pretty tumultuous. Tumultuous. That's it. Thank you. I'm getting there. I speak English, okay?
I don't talk so good.
You know what? Me and Em used to go to school in a very small town. Our upbringing was
Hey man, my vocabulary is great. What's your excuse?
I don't know. That was my excuse, but
Okay. And you majored in English. It's fine.
Excellent. Yeah. No, it's very tumultuous right now in the political climate for the nobles. A few houses have been getting into larger kind of kerfuffles. The Lord Ruler doesn't interfere directly in interhouse arguments. However, it's a weird way to put it, but if the kill count gets too high, then he gets involved. But as long as it's like, a little squabble here and there, the odd assassination, he kind of just lets it happen because he'd rather the houses be fighting each other than him. And yeah. However, if it does get to too big of a fight, then he'll step in and shut it down. So that's
does it seem like we're anywhere near that point?
As far as inner house fighting goes, no, but it's definitely more than the average amount.
Okay.
It has got to the point where the Lord Ruler has stepped in with the rebels, though, because the Koloss armies have started to march on a few different areas. And the Koloss, both of you know what the Koloss are. They are like 12 to 14 foot tall giants that don't feel pain. They have like translucent bluish skin that is too big for their body when they're smaller, but too small for their body when they're younger. So it's like peeling and ripping in parts. They have two modes. They're either fairly relaxed and docile almost, or they're on a blood rampage. So those are the Koloss. They don't really communicate and they don't really take orders except from the Lord Ruler. The Lord Ruler rules them and they will do exactly what he says. Yeah. So they have marched on a few different areas, and there's rumors that they might even come to the capital and be allowed to just kill some Skaw for a while in the capital to help. This news hasn't gone out to the world yet, but the nobles are starting to whisper about how the Skaw numbers might be culled a little bit because the Lord Ruler is not pleased. So, yeah. But on happy news,
ethnic cleansing as a treat, I suppose.
Yeah, Lord Ruler. Fun fact: not a great guy.
Yeah.
But
in case you were wondering,
yeah. But 'tis the season of parties and revelry, so like that still hasn't stopped the great houses. It's almost the fact that there's been so much turmoil and like public executions and talk of rebellion has almost spurred on some of the noble houses and some of the great houses specifically to host even more than lavish than usual parties, because they're like, no, everything's fine and we have more than enough. We can totally throw a party. We don't fear anything and we don't care about anything, So you gotta show up to save face and not look like someone who needs to be outed. So yeah, there's a party on tonight. It's being hosted by the it's being hosted by the by the Tekiel family, which is one of the 10 great houses. They are in charge of commerce and trade.
Okay.
So, is there anything you'd like to do before the party tonight, or would you like to go straight to the party?
Where's the party?
It will be held at the Tekiel Manor. It's a very lavish celebration. Again, with all the turmoil and stuff going on, food supplies have been shorted a little bit.
Okay.
But you can expect, because they're the great house of trade and commerce, that they're probably going to have a big spread, and they're probably going to be flaunting a little bit to try and show a show of power. There's rumors that some of the great houses are, again, House Venture with Strathgon and Elland at the helm is looking weak. There's, some of the great houses are trying to look like they want to take over some more power in the realm.
Word.
Well, we'd probably be getting ready and going. I don't imagine I'd be doing much else that day. Going out at such fuss.
Fair enough.
I'm going to be taking my raccoon for a little walk first.
Excellent.
Around the grounds. Taking my raccoon for a walk.
Yeah. Windslorp.
Pick out the local bodegas and bring a nice bottle of wine or something. Nice things to try and do for the party.
Yeah.
Can't show up empty-handed.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting that sort of thing ready by myself.
No. Should we go out together?
You got people for that. I'm a noble. I'm fancy.
Yeah, you have skull workers for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been royalty. I don't even know how that works.
Yeah.
I'm just a little kid. I'm just a little orphan boy.
Little orphan Annie got adopted by Daddy Warbucks.
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you try to go out and somebody's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You got people for that."
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
And then if that's the case, if I'm getting bothered by some guards,
you're allowed to wander the grounds however you want. But yeah, if you try to leave the grounds, the guard's like, "Oh, young master, it's would you like a escort, or what do you need?"
I suppose I won't be going outside of the grounds today. Maybe next time before I go, I'll be able to find a nice party favor. But instead, maybe I'll just look around the castle and try and find something that I can bring with me. So I'll just wander through the grounds, and I find a really nice rock.
That is a kid thing, 100%.
And so I'm gonna bring this nice rock that I found on the ground.
Excellent.
It looks as though it's got some sort of flecks of something inside of it. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Potentially could be some heavy metals inside of this rock. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna bring it anyways as a nice gesture because I'm just a little guy.
Awesome. Are you bringing? What is the name of your pet raccoon, by the way?
Oh, I guess I never gave the raccoon a name.
Oh, it needs a name.
Are you bringing them to the party?
I would like to, obviously, because I'm a little 8-year-old and I want to bring my pet with me.
Excellent.
I do have a harness for it.
Yeah.
Because the knitting bag that I have harnesses to my raccoon, and I can stick a little leash on it.
Nice. I like the picture of a little harness on the raccoon, and then the raccoon having a little backpack knitting bag, and then a leash to you.
Totally. That's the vibe. That's the vibe.
Yes.
Okay.
If
Okay.
I'm asking if I can dress the raccoon up in a tuxedo as well. But I suppose there's no. But I suppose there's no
I guess
raccoon
Mildred.
clothing.
Mildred, are you guys going to go shopping to get the raccoon a little tuxedo?
Oh, that would be very fun. We could find him a little bow tie.
The two of you hop into a carriage with a set of guards, and you head off to the shopping district, and you walk into a tailor, and they look you up and down, and they go, yes, for what would you like, madame?
Well, the young sir requires a bow tie for his raccoon.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
She just stares him down. Question me, I dare you.
You see the tailor just kind of runs around the shop and kind of looks like back at the raccoon. This
a full suit if you have it.
For when is it needed, madame?
Tonight.
Yes, of course.
He likes red.
He likes red. Yes, of course. Red's very in right now. It's a good choice. Excellent choice, young master. I'm gonna need you to roll, actually,
which one of us?
This will be a Mildred roll because Mildred, you're being the adult here.
I'm an adult.
Actually, you don't need to roll. You can just spend. So you can spend. So resources, influence, and spirit. You can spend them instead of rolling them, and they just kind of, you get them back at the end of the session or at the end of kind of a thing. But you spend them to get stuff. So resources.
How much is a raccoon bow tie worth?
So like one resource, you could spend one resource, you could get like a raccoon bow tie. Two resources, you could probably get the suit made because like this is a rush order and it's a little bit more complicated. So it'd probably be a 2 resources kind of spending. And so that would be spent for this session. If you would like to spend 2 resources on a raccoon suit.
I mean, Ian, what are you trying to say? 2 resources on a raccoon suit. We could probably settle for just a bow tie and only spend 1 resource.
I mean, you can. It's not a big deal spending your resources. It's not. Okay. I don't think it's going to cripple you, but yeah.
Well, I don't have that's one of my lower ones.
You have 4 resources.
Yeah, is that? I don't know, Ian. Is that
pretty
high?
good. That's pretty good. Okay. I think I don't like. What else would you be buying this session?
I don't know.
There you go.
There's a world of opportunities. I could get
fair enough
multiple matching raccoon suits.
You could get multiple bow ties. You could be changing bow ties every hour.
I could.
No, he just likes red.
Oh, okay.
He just likes red.
You see the tailor like showing different colors and the raccoon's just hissing at every color other than red.
What's your guy's name again? I'm losing my brain. Windslorp. Little Windslorp.
Yes.
Okay, so he's showing you colors and Mildred's, well, Windslorp, does he need a bow tie or a full suit? What do you think?
Katelyn, did we lose you or are you still there?
No, I'm still there. Hello?
Katelyn?
Hello?
Oh, no.
Oh, I lost connection. Attempting to reconnect.
Katelyn.
Let's try.
Swallowed by the void.
You did lose me.
All right, I'm going to stop the recording for a second. And we're back. Hopefully that's the end of technical issues. So we had Mildred, you were talking to Windslorp.
I was. Windslorp, dear, what would you like? A bow tie or a full suit for your raccoon?
I think. Well, he has sensory issues. Bow tie.
All right, your best red bow tie, and I don't want you skimping.
Of course, madam. Of course. You see he goes to the back and he pulls out like 8 different like shades of red, and he just kind of like, like the thing that the tailors do where they like kind of roll out the fabric so you can like feel it and like see it. And he kind of like drapes.
Immediately goes up to the fabric and she's like examining the thread count and the stitch quality, getting right in there. You need to make sure you're paying for quality.
Of course. He lets you check them all over, and then he goes over to Windslorp and the racoon.
And I'm just playing with the rock that I had in my pocket. And my racoon is sniffing each one, and I hear it sort of chortle a little bit. So I stop looking at the rock and I look at the racoon, and it's staring at me with its beady little eyes. And I say, "Oh, the silk. Okay, we would like the silk."
Wonderful choice.
The tailor takes that one and puts the others away, and he goes, "Excellent." And you can see he starts getting to work immediately, just like cutting and sewing up a quick bow tie for this little racoon. I'm
like making sure he's doing it properly. Backseat sewing.
Just little old ladies staring over his shoulder.
Of course. You have to pay attention to these things. Not everyone cares about a good quality stitch anymore. Back in my day and all that.
He finishes up fairly quick and hands Windslorp the bow tie, and he says, "For your racoon, young master."
Thank you. He will look very nice in this.
Excellent.
Tuck it into the bag in the back of the racoon's backpack.
Nice. You two can leave the shop. The shopkeeper like bows and walks you out, and you head back in the carriage and drive back to your manor to get ready for the party. And I think we can kind of fast forward to the two of you leaving for the party.
Yeah.
You're in your fancy clothes. Little racoon. We'll figure out a name for the racoon, but little racoon has the red bow tie on. Looking very dapper. And you two arrive at the manor, the Tekiel Manor, and you can see they have a plethora of guards on station tonight. It's much more than your average party season detail, but you kind of figure with all the stuff going on and the Ska rebellion and like again wanting to show off.
Right.
It is. Yeah, you're right. It's not surprising. You two are of course let in. There's a few little looks at the racoon, but no one's gonna say anything. And you're welcomed in. The great hall that they have opened up has a buffet of food on one side, and then there's waiters running around bringing food from the buffet to tables, as well as bringing food from the kitchen to tables. And it's, again, you have a feeling they're going to hurt financially from this because you're old enough to know better.
Right.
But they're definitely showing off that they are doing well in this time of struggle.
Right.
And it is working. Like there's a lot of the lesser nobles and even a few of the greater noble households are like, ooh, wow, you even have like, this in season. And So it's an impressive party, and there's music and dancing, and so what are you doing at this party?
I'm probably going to start by licking my thumb and getting a smudge off of Windslorp's forehead at some point. Got to keep up appearances.
Yeah. I have been playing with that rock, and I did get some dirt on my face from it. I really like that rock.
Yeah, I've noticed the rock, obviously. Can I perceive do I know, he said it had shiny flecks. Can I tell if there's any sort of metal or anything interesting about the rock?
It might be quartz or so. I don't know. It's a speckled rock that kids like, It's pretty cool. Even as an adult, it's a cool rock. It's not really worth anything, but it's a cool rock.
But it doesn't have any trace minerals that I'd be aware of.
No, not that you can think of.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, no, fair enough. No
iron deposits or anything in it.
No, again, it's just a rock from your compound, so it's not. You haven't discovered a rare mine on your compound or your manor.
There's trace minerals and all kinds of things.
That's what I'm saying.
Is a whole mine.
Yeah, but
fair enough. Just checking.
It is a fun rock that, again, even as a fully grown adult, when my child brings me rocks, I'm like, that's a cool rock.
Yeah.
It is a cool rock, right?
That's the standard response.
No, but sometimes you say it's a cool rock, and then other times it genuinely is a cool rock.
Fair.
This is genuinely a cool rock without it being worth oh my goodness, that's worth money. Where did you find this kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we were more just curious if it could be weaponized because it has metal and could be moved around by someone.
That's 100% where I'm going with that.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, it's
can we eat it?
You can't eat it because you only want to eat pure metals,
and my poor old teeth couldn't handle it.
Yeah, you
eating rocks.
They I mean, so Allomancers in Mistborn, Allomancers eat metals. Now, it doesn't mean they actually chew metals. It means they take little pills or little metal shavings. So you'll have a vial that's half the size of a shot glass, and in that vial will be it's normally alcohol, probably. So it'll be alcohol and then some scrapings of metal, and it'll be just a liquor. Teeny tiny bit of metal. What is it? Gold schnapps?
Yeah.
Goldschlager.
Goldschlager. That's it.
Yeah.
It'll be similar-esque to Goldschlager, right? It's,
actually taste good.
A little bit of...
Actually, probably won't.
No, it definitely won't. But it'll be a little bit of metal suspended in liquor, and you do a shot of that, and that's enough to give you power for however length of time, right?
Yeah.
Depending upon the metal. Some metals, that's enough to give you power for 2 or 3 hours. Some metals, that's enough power for 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on... You're not taking an iron ingot and chomping your way through this iron ingot. That's not.
That is such an amazing mental image, though. Just like a chocolate bar.
I 100%
Crimes of the Future shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've established it's a very pretty, but not a rock we can either lick or eat or push or pull. We cannot weaponize this rock other than the fact that it is a rock.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
That's fair. That is.
Well,
fair.
I'm probably gonna grab a drink from a passing waiter person.
Oh, 100%.
I'm gonna start there.
Yeah.
I would also like to grab a drink from a passing waiter person.
Yeah, they'll pass.
I'm gonna smack his hand and make sure he's not taking alcohol. He's a young boy.
Fine.
You're only 8?
Yes. But oftentimes I speak like I'm 35, so
Yes, I'm still not going to let you drink, Windslorp.
Okay.
Yeah. So the party's going on. The two of you have a few drinks, relax, and kind of enjoy yourselves.
We
I assume
probably
you would
found a
want to
table,
give your rock to
maybe
the host.
towards the back, towards the
Yes.
side.
So I wander
I'm
up
offline
towards
again.
the
Oh, no.
host, and I
Did I come
butt in
back?
on a conversation, and I say, "Hello, I have a present for the
Oh
party."
dear. It's
Oh,
doing it
Katelyn, we can
again.
hear you again. Katelyn, can you hear
me
us?
at all?
I can. Can you hear me? Katelyn, can you hear us? Oh no. I can hear you.
Don't know what's going on there. I can't hear you.
Okay. We will try again. I'm going to pause. And we're back again. Hopefully with a lot less interruptions. I don't know.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no. Katelyn, your audio wavelength is going weird. But we're hoping that's okay. We're gonna roll with it. I hope it's good. If not, this will be one of those episodes that is interesting. Our listeners love interesting episodes. They know we have technical difficulties all the time.
Is what you get when you don't have a sponsor, Ian.
That's exactly it. Exactly. Yeah. So we had little Windslorp had just gone up to the host of the house, and who would that be? That would be he had just gone up to the host, which would be Tovidian. Yeah. Tovidian. So Tovidian would be the host of the party. He's Lord of House Tekiel. And yeah, Windslorp has gone up and butted into the middle of a conversation. Go ahead, Windslorp.
Hi.
I
have this rock for you. This is my gift to the house. This is my gift to the party here.
He kind of turns and looks at you. Ah, yes. Wonderful. Takes the rock from you. A lovely gift from a delightful child. Thank you so much.
I shuffle in a little closer, and I ask him, "What have you heard about the discourse in the mines?"
Just kind of looks at you. You see everyone, like the two or three people around him who were chatting with him, just kind of are like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, children these days, am I right? They're so." And he kind of like pats you on the head and like just ever so lightly, but like actively pushes you away. And kind of is like, children, they're interesting times we live in with children like this." He like passes the rock to a servant and continues chatting with the other nobles.
I shuffle in closer and pull on his jacket and utter again. You know, there is talk of a calling of the ska, and I've been told that there was there was an attack from the rebels in the mine. Do you not think this is problematic for what's going on in the world right now?
You see, kind of looks around and he catches your eye, Mildred, and he just Lady Mildred, and he like
I'm like trying not to laugh.
not harsh, but definitely forcefully. He puts his hand on your back, Windslorp, and pushes you and like walks with you over to Mildred, and he goes, "Lady Mildred, your young charge for the evening has quite interesting conversation. I do hope he continues his education and grows in his knowledge. What a lovely child." And
Yes,
kinda
he is a lovely child. And sorry.
gives another shove and then grabs a sweet pastry and like just almost doesn't quite shove it in your mouth, Windslorp, but like shoves it towards your face so you grab it. And then he goes, "As always, Lady Mildred, lovely to see you." And he quickly turns and walks away from the both of you.
I look to Mildred and I say, "This man is not to be trusted."
Yes, dear, I did know that. It was a good try. I'm always curious. It's always curious to note how people will respond to blunt questioning. Definitely throws them off their guard.
You see, like, people of the Lord of the House has kind of like chatted with a few people, and there's whispering and a little bit of pointing and staring at the two of you now as the evening goes on.
And I say, "Oh, I need to go to the bathroom. I'm bringing my raccoon with me."
Okay. So I'm gonna let him, like, he can.
That's fair, yeah.
When you gotta go potty, you stop and go right away. But can I look around? Like, do I have any buddies, friends that I would chat with, or is there anybody at the table with me, or who am I noticing that?
Would you like there to be ladies at the table with you, or a gentleman, or anyone?
I don't know. I think we probably sat down at just like a quiet table off to the side. But did anybody join us? Is there anybody that I know that I want to go be crotchety at, pester?
Lord Elland Venture, the now head of his household.
Oh, right. Yeah, definitely. Where's he at?
He did. He can be walking by and he goes, Lady Hoffquarter, it's always lovely to see you. I hope you're having a good evening.
Oh, Ellen, dear. Lovely to see you.
Yes. I wish it was, it kind of gestures at the party, a better time, but, you know.
Yes, I agree. They always make their music so loud here.
I agreed. Any good books lately?
Yes, and she's kind of looking around, making sure that nobody's listening too closely.
Fair enough.
Yes, I do think we have very similar tastes in books, don't we?
I would believe so.
Like fishing.
Yes. I would think you're a well-educated woman, and I do believe we have interesting tastes. And he kind of pulls a book out from like an inner chest pocket, and he kind of just like hands it to you, and he goes, "This was a lovely read. I think you would enjoy it."
What am I looking at?
It's a fairly standard looking book. It does have a little like leather strap tying it closed. But it's fairly standard, and it's just the title of it is like A History of the Darkness or the Deep or something like that.
Does that ring any bells for me? Like, would I recognize this book at all? Being another book nerd.
I mean, the darkness or deep or whatever is the thing that the Lord Ruler defeated 1,000 years ago. It's not a great read. You've probably read it a while ago. It's on the list of like the obligators read it, but not the average person reads it. And it's not, again, the Lord Ruler's not big on people learning too much history.
Right.
He wants them to know just enough that they worship him, and that's about it. This book doesn't rattle any feathers in that regard. It doesn't do anything different or interesting. It's a fairly plain book, but again, Ellen like passes it to you and says this is a lovely new read I found.
Now, does that
would be an odd statement? Yes.
That's ringing bells.
Yeah.
Sort of, I look at it, kind of turn it over a little bit, but I don't open it.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm going to tuck it in my knitting bag for later and just sort of look at him sharply and just, yes, I'll definitely have to give that a closer read next time I have a moment to myself.
Lovely to hear. I do apologize, but unfortunately, as head of my household, the party must go on. And he bows and takes his leave of you.
Of course, dear. You have a lovely evening.
And yeah. Windslorp, are you doing any shenanigans on your way to the bathroom?
I take out.
Yeah,
we're gonna.
Of course, of course. So as we go to the quote bathroom, the raccoon and I are wandering around through the back hallways. We find the help stairs, the servant stairs, and we're wandering through trying to find any sort of like interesting doors or any sort of interesting.
Roll me a wits check. I'm going to say difficulty of 2.
Okay, so how many dice am I rolling?
So you roll 4d6, and you need to get 2 2s or better. And then again, 5s are the best. Double 5s is the best roll you can get. Double 6s gives you an extra action. It doesn't actually give you a success. Single 6s give you a boost to your success, but you need to succeed first.
Okay, so I rolled a 4, a 2, a 3, a 1.
Okay. So unfortunately, that isn't a success. So you're looking around. You don't find anything of direct interest. A few servants do start to slowly usher you to the actual washrooms and start to kind of slow your path so you can't just wander freely without making a bit of a scene. If you choose to make a scene, that's your choice.
Right. So I'll just wander actually to the bathroom because I actually do have to go to the bathroom.
Fair enough.
So I go to the bathroom and then I start rummaging around a little bit in the drawers. Can I roll to see if I find anything of use in the drawers?
Yeah, I'll give you a difficulty of 3 for this, and this will be a wits. You can probably let's see. Do you have anything that would boost it?
A raccoon. He has a raccoon.
I'll give you a dice for your raccoon, sure. Why not?
So that's 4d6?
5d6. So you get an extra dice for your raccoon who's helping you, like, scurrying around under things that you wouldn't normally check under. Difficulty of
like a 4, a 1, a 4, a 3, and a 5.
Hey, double 4s. Double 4s beats double 3s.
Nice.
So that's a success. And all you need is to match it for a success, by the way.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I say the difficulty is 2 or 3, then you just need a 2 or a 3. You don't need one better than it. Yeah. So the difficulty was 3. You got a 4. Even if you had got double 3s, you would have succeeded. But because you got a 4, you still succeed. Unfortunately, there isn't a if you got double 5s, it's not a extra big success. It's only if you get doubles. Like if you had got double 3s and then a 6, the 6 makes your double 3s a better success. So if you had got like double 5s and a 6, it would be the same as a double 3s and a 6.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a 6, only a 5.
But yeah. So you did succeed though. Looking around and then from your preliminary, now again, you got stopped a little bit by the servants, which is a little odd. Not too odd, but a little odd. And then from your search in here, you can tell again, you and Mildred would have clocked that this party costed a lot and a lot more than the average party probably should have cost them. And you're now clocking that this, like, you knew this would hurt them. This is going to hurt them more. Like, they might even be going into debt level from this party, and they're really trying to make a show of power when they don't have it.
They are never financially recover from this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So this man, I'm assuming potentially this man is tied to the stuff that's been happening with the political disruption, and he's lost a lot of his money from that.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you just deduce that. Yeah, you easily deduce that he's been targeted by either another noble or by some of the ska or something, and he is hurting. He's trying to show that he's strong, and he's trying to make himself look bigger and tougher, but he is hurting. So, yeah.
Do I by chance find anything metal?
I mean, there's random bits of metal. Like, what kind of what are you looking for metal wise?
Anything like tweezers or a nail clip? Anything that's got like a point to it.
Sure, you can have some tweezers.
Perfect. I put those in my
in your knitting bag.
Bag.
Okay.
And then go back to the party.
Sounds good. Again, so the difference in this system is you have what are called what's the word that they use in this system? You have props. So your props are items you always have on you and can always have, like, they're basically, even if you like throw your knitting bag away in one scene, in the next scene you'll have a knitting bag because it's assumed you went and picked it up or you bought a new one.
Cartoon style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But like the tweezers that you picked up are now a one-off item. It is not assumed you have tweezers at all times. It's you have these tweezers and until the end of the session, or until you specifically say, I used the tweezer. Like, they're in your bag and you kind of have to, yeah.
Yes.
The book I got would be like that as well, I assume.
Yeah, the book you got would be like that as well. However, the book you got is a bit more of a plot device because it was given like an NPC specifically. It's slightly more significant, but yeah, it's if you throw the book on the ground, it is not assumed you picked it up.
Right.
Whereas your knitting bag is assumed you pick it up. If that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can steal some tweezers and go back to the party. That is easy to do.
Perfect.
Yeah. Is there anything you two want to do at the party, or?
Well, we don't have a specific goal yet. So we're just kind of
mingling a little bit.
Yeah, we're mingling. We're not trying to draw too much attention because I'm too
I already brought a
for
lot.
that. Well, you did, yes.
Yeah.
I'm working on my current knitting project while everybody's dancing because I don't want to dance because my poor hips. And
Fair. Yeah, okay. Well, then you guys chat a little bit, and you're probably one of the first few to leave,
yeah,
being older
I'm not
and
going to
younger.
stay up late.
Yeah. So yeah, the two of you.
But yeah, just generally we're just making sure we're not like I would have been looking around and observing, and I'm not would I be noticing anybody other than Eland and the book and the Lord being Poncy to the inquisitive young boy?
Yeah.
Am I noticing anybody being weird? Is there any more out of character moments happening? Because I'm people watching mainly.
There is a young lady that you have seen at a small handful of the parties, and she's new to the city. You've heard that from rumors. And she's hanging around with Elland fairly regularly.
Am I getting like she's just trying to flirt vibes, or
not many people flirt
right.
with Elland, even though like he was one of the head households. He never really had time for women, and you would know this. Like you've chatted with him, and you like he never really had time for women. He didn't really care. He was kind of meh. But he does seem. It's not her flirting with him. He seems to genuinely like her company.
Okay, which is fascinating.
You can clock that. You're an old lady. Clock that very easily. He genuinely likes her company, and she genuinely likes his company as well. And she's not keen on being at the party. You can clock that, but she's here with Ellen. Like she does try and leave him alone a reasonable amount and just kind of stay off to the side. When she moves off to the side, you do notice she has a a butler from one of the fancy butlers, what is the term?
My brain is blanking on it too. The tall ones.
Yeah, the tall ones.
That
anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
People are gonna be mad that we don't remember that word.
I know. I'm even looking it up and I can't find it here.
Obligators?
No, the obligators are the priests.
He's talking about
they're the like butler
terracemen. He's talking about terracemen. I did it. I redeemed myself.
The butler, like they're like elite butlers. They're like I hate to say it, but it's canon to the book. They are castrated at birth, and like most of them are castrated at birth, and there's specific ones that are bred. Like it's a nightmare. But yeah, they're specifically bred and trained to be the best butlers.
That's awesome.
And
now
butlers.
Is that normal for a person to have that, or is that like super weird?
It's not uncommon.
Okay.
But it definitely shows she has some kind of money or power, because you don't have a terrace butler without having a little bit of sway. So it's a little weird that like you would know that her name is Valette. and that's about it. And again, you've seen her briefly. You might have seen her flirting with Elend a little bit, like the two of them flirting once at a party, but like not much. Now that Elend is head of his household, you can see them together, and he definitely relaxes when she's around, and he's tense when she's not around.
Okay.
Elend doesn't like these scenarios.
No.
Yeah.
Not a party guy.
No.
Can I use my old lady gossiping with any other old ladies and find out anything else?
Yeah, roll me. Actually, no, this would be an influence. Or I guess, yeah, this would be an influence. You can spend influence. I'll leave it up to you. However much influence you want to spend boosts what you hear, kind of thing.
Right. Just influence, hey? Because that's low.
Yeah, you can roll charm to try and boost it if you would like.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's I guess spend an influence and roll charm to boost it.
Okay. You can get a bonus for your observant and good memory.
Okay.
So that gives you 5 dice for your charm, and you spent 1 influence. So I'll give you 3 dice for the 1 influence spent.
Okay, so I'm rolling.
That'll be 8 dice.
8.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 3 2s, 2 6s.
Okay.
And 3 5 4.
So 2 2s is not bad. It's only doubles that matters for the system. I know.
Come on. Okay, 2 2s and 2 6s.
So with 2 6s, you can bump up that roll in oomph. Or you can take an extra action to do something within this roll, kind of thing. So, like, if you wanted to use, so you're currently using your action to gain some knowledge while you gossip. If you would like to spread some knowledge, that would be an extra action.
Interesting.
Or you can just bump up how much knowledge you gain.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I would want to spread, if there would be anything useful. But I don't, other than like just general sewing of. Would it be useful to point out, like to spread out in a sort of, can't trace it back to me, gossipy kind of style, how expensive this party looks, and like lean on that and like, ooh, maybe he's shaken, maybe he's not doing so hot despite how. Is that useful?
It's an additional roll. It might be useful. It would definitely, if you succeed, it would definitely shake the house more. Like, people have clocked that this is expensive, but yeah.
But just to point out, to add to the, like, it's expensive, but casting a little bit of doubt on whether or not it's expensive because he has the money.
Yeah, you can. I'll give it difficulty of 2 and a charm roll. So you can spend an influence if you like, and I'll give you another 3 dice.
I think I'd only have. That would be my last influence.
Yeah, we're nearing the end of the session, though.
That's fair. Yeah, we'll do it.
And then, I think that's all the bonuses you would get. So you'll be at 7 dice, and it's a difficulty of 2.
Two 4s and a 6.
2 4s and a 6. That's a boost. So you're good. Yeah, you can. People are. It won't be traced back to you. But yeah, people have clocked that this is a very expensive party, and now there's a rumor going around that this is the last of his money, and he's trying to show, like, he has a few bids out for jobs. And he's trying to show that he has a bunch of money in the hopes that those bidders overbid on a job or something, so he can make back some money. There's some rumors starting to spread a little faster now. But as far as what you hear about Valette, she's recently new to the area. She's from a lower family on the outskirts. She happened to bump into Elend. There's a lot of talk about her, like, people don't like her because Elend likes her. Like, it's very clear to people. Everyone says that Elend's just like, this is a fling for Elend. This is, like, he just sees a pretty girl, like he's going to use her and lose her, sort of thing. You know better by looking at them.
And he's not that type of guy.
And he's definitely not that type of guy. But everyone's PO'd that the now, like, House Venture, of the 10 top houses, House Venture is arguably in the top 3. Like, definitely in the top 3. Arguably the first, maybe the second most powerful house.
So probably a lot of jealousy.
Yeah.
There's this upstart from nowhere, and now he's getting interested in her, but he never liked any of us, sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
That tracks.
If Elend's about to get, like, if you were worried about Elend being assassinated, because of all this turmoil.
Right.
You're now looking at her being like, oh, she's going to die in a day or two.
Right. Does she look particularly killable? How frail? How naive?
Roll me a wits.
Oh, I think do I have wits? I have wits. I have 5 wits.
Roll me a wits, and I'm going to give you a bonus for your crotchety personality.
Yeah.
Because
so I'm rolling 6 then.
Yeah.
Would I get another one because I'm observant?
Yeah, I'll give you another one for observant. And I'll give it a difficulty of 3.
2 3s, 3 3s, and a 6.
Nice. So that's success and a bump. She can hold her own.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an air about this. You've lived long enough, met enough Allomancers. You're not 100% sure she's an Allomancer, but you've met enough Allomancers and tough people and people who pretend to be tough and, everything in between, that there's something A little off, and B, she can handle her own. Like, there's something tough about this girl.
Okay.
So Can I do something?
Yeah, please.
With my little tiny 8-year-old arms, I throw the tweezers towards her.
Yeah.
How does she react to seeing metal thrown towards her?
How obviously are you doing it though? Like,
yeah, that's a big
like, are you just like tossing it in her direction to see what happens, or are you like throwing it at her head? How close are we to her?
I'm in her peripherals, and it's like, just like a chaotic little child throwing something.
Nothing
that seems like overly like
violent,
but enough that, like, if somebody was to catch something in the corner of their eye, like if they had, say they had like quick reflexes, they would grab something, and if they were like, or if there's somebody who's not very, coordinated or whatever, they might kind of like squint their eyes and move their head back type thing.
Yeah. Are you aiming for her head or like just body or what?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can.
Can you hear me? No.
Oh, no. Not again. Right when things were getting juicy.
All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to restart.
Yeah.
All right. And we're back again. Goodness. Again. We begin again. You throw the tweezers at Valette's head, torso, arm, leg, head. Okay. You throw the tweezers at, like, kind of like kid flail throw, like temper tantrum kind of deal. As you say, that way, like,
am I nearby Am I like?
Yeah, you're sitting with them. You would be
it's
sitting with
me and Windslorp are there. Okay.
Yeah, and to anyone looking around, it just looked like you have said no to Windslorp or something, and Windslorp's throwing a tantrum and just waving their arms in the air, and the tweezers flew out of their arms.
Okay, perfect.
Sort of thing.
I need plausible deniability. I'm in charge of this child.
Yes.
Yeah, the tweezers go towards Valette's head, and she moves quickly, and they miss her head. People, nobody around, I mean, tweezers are fairly small. Nobody around really sees it, but she's not really startled. She does notice you, and she notices the child. I assume, Windslorp, you're not just staring at her looking for a reaction. You're still throwing a temper tantrum.
Oh no, I'm paying attention to see a reaction.
Oh, okay. I love it. The subtlety.
Staring at her.
Wow, beautiful. She just stares at you. You see her. She kind of stops to think for a second. And then she bends down, picks up the tweezers, and walks over, and kind of staring dead in your eyes, she holds out the tweezers and goes, "You best to be careful, little one. You wouldn't want to hurt anyone."
Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. You know how young boys can be. Kind of trying to smooth it over a little bit. Pretend that it wasn't very obviously slightly on purpose.
I guess that wasn't the best time to play catch, was it?
No. These, again, maybe not with sharp objects. And she kind of just pats you on the head and then turns around and bows to you. She goes, "Lady Hoffquarter, lovely to see you," and then scurries back to her butler.
"And you, my dear," sort of thing. Yeah.
I walk over to you, Mildred, and I say, "Well, I suppose she's not an allomancer, is she?"
Well, not necessarily. She wouldn't exactly want to telegraph that information.
I suppose I'll be more subtle next time.
Yes, that might be best.
Yeah. It is interesting that she was able to dodge it. That was a pretty decent dodge. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
And an allomancer
hence the not
probably wouldn't telegraph their. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you two leave the party as I say, probably maybe not the first to leave, but you're within the first group leaving. And you head home for the night. That's basically it. I think we'll end the session there before you can read the book, because we'll have you meet up with what's her name? Twyla. We'll have you meet up with Twyla, and you guys can discover the book together, kind of thing.
Okay.
Because I assume that's probably you're probably eager to.
I want to read my book. I got a new book again.
Excellent. So
did anybody notice me getting it, by the way?
No. Nobody. They might have noticed you and Ellen talking, but the two of you chatting is nothing. Again, he's now the head of his household. He has to tell, and you two were probably reasonably friendly before this.
And I suppose the two of us with a book is not weird either. Yeah. Fair.
Honestly, Ellen, throughout the party, Ellen always had at least 2 or 3 books kind of in hand anyway, and a few books shoved in pockets. So him giving a book to someone it's pretty overlooked.
Okay, good.
So how we normally end these is, for you guys, I say, "I'm Ian," or what do I say? No, now I'm overthinking it.
What do you say, Ian?
I say
Who
my
are you?
bit. I say
Uh-huh.
my bit, and then you guys are going to say, again, in the order you said your character, you'll say your name and the character you were playing. You don't need to give a full description this time, but just your name and the character you were playing.
Mhm.
So I was Ian, the narrator.
I was Katelyn playing Mildred.
And I was M playing Windslorp.
And we are sponsored by nobody. Signing off.